On the streets at 91.9 beginning September 4th, every Thursday from 7 to 8, hosted by our officer, Sawakya Allah, officer, Makoya, ISUPK under Commanding General Yahya. Every Thursday night from 7 p.m. on the streets, 91.9.
Yeah, shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Right.
Shalom.
Right, and shalom just means peace. Again, this is ISUPK and Tobago under Commanding General Yana, Prison Officer Swapiala,
Prison Officer McQuack,
Prison Officer Shop,
and Prison Officer Barrier.
right? Again, so you see, brothers, locked and, in, right? And tonight, we continue doing just like we have been commissioned to do, just like when our King sent men out, to bring this reminder to our brothers, to us, to this house, to this family, in a time when it is, needed, we continue to do that because again, this truth, it is something that was, established by the Most High God, to have order in the earth. And we see when there's no order in the earth, what is taking place, throughout the earth right now, because again, a lot of, situations, a lot of crimes, a lot of violence, a lot of things is taking place right before us. And again, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, right? We are, as you see, at the neck or the peak of it, because now, while these other nations go, to war, go, against each other, for some reason, we would always be pulled up in the midst of everything, just to throw blame on. And the importance of us knowing our culture, knowing our history, knowing who we are is very important, right? So again, tonight, again, we continue to bring that reminder to our brothers and sisters, in Trinidad and Tobago. Again, feel free, to call these number to call.
The number to call is 342-0081-466-5391 or 771-1791.
Right. Again, remember to call in and ask the questions. Again, our school location is number 1 Morris Street, Point 14. Right. You can go up on our webpage, ISUPK Trinidad and Tobago. Right. And you can look at, throughout all our social media pages. Right. And, any questions, any, information that you need, you can type it in, call the number, right? Questions would be attended to as soon as it is notified,
right,
or soon as it is recognized, right? Because again, we are brothers, chroming or looking, for the response of brothers and sisters, because again, the importance of this is very important. Just like we were searching for the truth, and asking questions, the same way brothers and sisters would be searching for this truth and asking questions, right? So what we looking at tonight, Akim? We looking like tonight?
What we're looking at tonight, we're looking at the New Year's.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Because of course, the New Year's celebration, and most people celebrate, they don't understand that it's just after another God.
Right.
You understand, a pagan God. That nothing to do with the Bible. You understand? Nothing to do with black people. Nothing to do with Christ. You understand?
Right.
Just like how we might have the Christmas celebration as well. You understand? We just left that. You understand? And coming into the New Year celebration. But all these things is just after another God.
Right.
You understand? That have nothing to do with Christ, nothing to do with the Bible, nothing to do with black people and their history.
Right.
You understand? These gods, these pagan gods, are of these other nations, and the Lord, through his prophets, warned us. You understand? Especially like in the book of Jeremiah, where the Lord say, "No, not the way of the heathens." You understand? So these are things that we have to take into consideration and follow and do. If we say, you understand, that we serve the Lord, or we love the Lord, or we want to worship him.
Right.
It's a lot.
Right. Just as you mentioned that point, grab second Ezra chapter 1 and verse 6, right? Because again, what we walk after, you know, it is like you know, just like we say, like black people curse. So it's you see what that, as we say, that vibe or that spirit or that come true, and it within our, let me say, our bloodline.
Right.
It within us, it knitted within us. So now, in order for us to really understand that, right, and to move away, we must know that, you know, we come from a culture rich in history, rich in to the point where we supposed to be, you know, overseeing all the affairs of this society,
Right.
of this world, because now the Most High God always had a structure, and that structure and that order never changed. Because the man who he raised from the dust, he gave him these instructions.
Right.
And those instructions, you know, was knitted in his loins and passed through his sons coming down, I would say, that bloodline. And we inherit those customs today.
Right.
Now, in order for us to really get the understanding of it, now we must come back to our instructions. We must come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. And again, this is the importance of us knowing who we are, right? So we're not, as we say, this is not religion. We're not going to separate ourselves from what is actually taking place.
Right.
We are in the midst of it. We as we say, we just like how they say, we in this together. Again, the scripture say no one tribe is going to be left behind. That just to show you the spirit of this family, of this house. While everybody telling our dear brother now, that don't work so. We know, as we say, we commit an act, we pay in faith. But here the thing about it now, it always had men in the midst praying and asking the Lord to as we say, to have mercy on us. And we see this throughout this family. And this is the importance of us actually knowing where, you know, this spirit or this vibe came from.
Right.
And to make the correction now, we will change. This is how a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian man would actually get that change, by coming back to your records, coming back to your history, right? Who have it here?
Second Ezra chapter 1 and verse 6. Because the sin of their fathers are increased in them, for they have forgotten me and have offered unto strange gods.
Right. So we know, just as you mentioned before, we're coming out and we're going into more into customs, because right after New Year's is what is Valentine.
Right.
Then again, the spirit again and enter into carnival, talking about here in Trinidad and our whole. So now, read over one more time, Bible Kisha.
Second Ezra chapter 1 and verse 6. Because the sins of their fathers are increased in them.
Right.
For they have forgotten me and have offered unto strange gods.
So imagine we moving away from the instructions of the Lord. But every day we just say, I love the Lord. Every day we say, we pray to the Most High God, you know, to guide, to watch over we.
Right.
But now we're reading here that this people, you know, had a long history of, as we say, throughout generations. With some, as we say, might break away from follow these instructions. Now where we at right now. Now we start to, as we say, we start to celebrate New Year's. We start to celebrate Christmas.
Right.
We start to celebrate Valentine's. We start to celebrate all the customs. And this is why it identified as what? As strange gods. Because why? Just as you say, even our fathers before have never knew no other God. Who's our fathers before? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Right.
They understood one thing, that the Most High God is our Father. And when our Father gave instructions, he really gave instructions.
Right.
And if you don't as we say, comply to these instructions, then there will be, as we say, consequences or punishment towards these instructions. So they know to stay on that pathway, to walk after these instructions. But again, as children, just like children, they might be a little stubborn, we might be a little rebellious, but we not, you know, exempting ourselves from any one of our brother fall.
Right.
Because why? We were once walking that pathway, and we wanted to understand how to change from that mindset. Because we see, as we say, just as, you know, the captain was bringing out in the class last night, brothers getting unalive, you know, to just to show that, hey, I could register one for the year.
Right.
Not knowing you doing, as we say, the heathen a favor and doing your family a disfavor by doing what? By removing, as we say, let me say, a structure from what's supposed to be building,
Right.
and putting something what is going to continue to tear down, this house.
Okay.
And this is important for us. And going after these other gods is what would cause these other nations to thrive, their businesses to thrive. And this is important for us, right?
Okay.
Yeah. You know more about this, right?
2nd Ezra chapter 1 and verse 7. Not I even he that brought them out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
Right? So the Lord letting we know. So like I reminding you, am I not the one that brought you out of the land of Egypt? And it identify what the word Egypt means. It's synonymous to the word bondage.
Okay.
It's synonymous because am I not the one that brought you out of bondage? What we in right now, the Lord could deliver we anytime out of this bondage that we in. But you know what we require of us? To stop following these other gods.
Right.
To stop taking part and patronizing in the customs, in the ways. And what the brother go read just now again is a little history behind, as we say this new year.
Right.
And imagine this. And the general brought out this as well too. And it is like what we're going to face right now here in Trinidad. And it has been said for a period of time. Don't think that nothing is going to get easier.
Right.
There's a lot of hardship that is going to come. And these heathen, as we say, they're flexing the muscles right in front of our faces. And you know what happened? They're still doing the business, still running, they're still promoting, they're still, functioning. What we need to do as a house and as a family is to find this house, to find where the Lord had established his name and his truth, because he always has a place.
Right.
Because why? Speaking this would go against all the other, as we say, all the odds of what custom and culture is. Because again, a lot of our people, as we say, wouldn't want to hear this. We once in that mindset, when you want to hear that. Wait, truth? What truth? But there would always come a time when the Lord would do what would actually bring your mind in that subjection. Because of who the Lord is as a father. So again, the scripture says a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the Lord. So we forget, just like as the Lord said, like, don't forget who brought all out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Go ahead.
But they have provoked me unto wrath, and I despise my counsel.
Right, and what counsel he talking about? When we go and read Deuteronomy chapter 28, he see that blessings are curses.
Right.
Now it's like a father, because he realized by this one again, yeah, he ain't ready for it as yet. Let me withhold it from you, because again, and what happened again? You can read about that again with the prodigal son. You want to all right? Go ahead, get it, and he went out. We end up come back because he recognized something. This is us recognizing, our, as we say, let me say, rebelliousness towards our Father.
Right.
This is where you see, this is the structure that you're seeing right now. When people say black people not coming together, black people coming together.
Right.
And when we talk about black people, we're talking about this house, we're talking about this family. Again, we're not African. We went through that already.
Right.
We is not know, as we say, any mix. Yeah, go ahead.
So if I may, I just want to say something as on that point there one time. You understand? Because what we have to realize, you understand, as black people, Hispanics and Native Indians, is our identity.
Right.
Which is absolutely important. Now, if we identify ourselves as being African. You understand? Is of course we're going to hold on to a culture that does not belong to us. So now we will celebrate the Christmas, the Easter, birthdays. You understand? As I rightfully mentioned in the Valentine's Day, we're going to do that because we are associating with a people that is not us. You understand? But when you start to read the Bible, you understand, contrary to what the religious leaders doing, you understand, when you actually start to read the Bible and you're realizing that you are not an African, you are part of the 12 lost tribe, you understand, the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. When you start to realize that, you will realize now that you have your own way of life, your own culture, you understand, your own high holy days and feast days that you're supposed to keep. So now when things like Christmas and New Year's Day come across, you will know that that does not belong to you. You understand? And just as Moses saying, if we say we love the Bible, you understand? We love God, we want to serve God, we want to worship God, then we have to obey what is in the book. You understand?
That's right.
And then what did our forefather Moses tell us? That these things that is written here should be taught to your children and your children, which means it's something that's supposed to be taught throughout our generation.
That's right.
You understand? But again, if we identify with a people that is not us, then we're going to cling and hold on to their ways and their culture and their customs. And now we wouldn't know our way home.
Right.
We wouldn't know what we as a people supposed to be celebrating.
That's right.
You understand? So it is of utmost importance as Black people here in Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean islands, wherever you might be listening from. You understand? It is of utmost importance that you learn your identity. You understand? Black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, you are the true Jews of the Bible.
That's right.
The Bible have nothing to do with religion. Right now, I'm absolutely sure that no religious leader could show the birth of Jesus Christ in the Bible being December 25th.
Right.
You understand? And these things are important.
For real.
It's important for us. It's important for the generation after us and the generation after them.
That's right.
Keep going down the line. It's even important for the people before us because some of our parents still believe and worship in this white image that they give us and say that is Jesus Christ. You understand? When that is not Christ. Some of us still believe that the angels and all these different things, white is white people. So now when white people come before us, we want to see them as being superior. You understand? And we want to associate ourselves with their days, their feast days, their customs and all these different things. You understand? But again, Black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, it's time for us to know our identity and time for us to let go all these false gods that the Lord say are no gods.
That's
so
right. That's right. Anything else of Sabbath?
And I can, when the officer bringing out is important, because right now we people spirit from season to season,
right?
You know, from Christmas straight into worshiping Janus, then just now we're going into Bacchanalia, you know, so it's just a constant wearing out of your spirit till, you know, you don't know yourself, you're just following traditions and you're just following stuff that you can research basically and find.
Right.
Anything to say about that?
Yeah, well, when you check out going on with all these holidays and things, right? And then after now the history behind these holidays again, and they keep on hiding with people, I think, it eats and drinks and things, right? And they really look in there. So when they just quick and fast, right? And watch like Thanksgiving and things, right? Everybody thinking this thing with this tooth here wrong is Steve, but not knowing like there's something was just to hide the slaughter of the Native Indians and them, right?
That's
When you watch something with this New Year's Day again, right? But even when you think that why Black people know it shouldn't be celebrating New Year's. For one, it's not the New Year's, and when you go and watch back this and all to the New Year's, Black people was sold into slavery, right? Every New Year's. When every New Year's comes, it's like, hey, New Year's coming like a nightmare for Black people. They're going on the Quintan explantation, right? And again now, when you Abraham Lincoln, again now, they hide that history again behind it, they send Black people in the church. And they know everybody, they just move away. So by that generation, and this is why Black people have to be in power again too, because By them doing that now, they hide our history. So now nobody know about New Year's Day. Black people being sold every New Year's come around, man. They set them in the church New Year's, and then everybody come with the black eyed peas cook up.
Right.
And then all that again, like black eyed peas cook up, black eyed peas cook up. Just like every holidays. Nobody looking at the holidays, but everything is about gifts, food, party. And all these holidays and them that's wicked.
Right. And again, give it up, to the brothers, because them points and them I say it's very important and very valid for us, because now, again, us being, that we say, to a low state, right? And some of us, as we say, the rich amongst us might think that they exempted from this, not knowing that, as things start to get, as we say, more and more tense.
Right.
Now you would be recognized for who you are. Your identity can't hide no more.
Right.
Because now you're recognized. And us being to the state, or as we say, where we would be, let me say, in utter poverty. Now the scriptures let us identified us again. Our King remind us. He said, despite we poor, he said, but thou art rich.
Right.
I think that in Revelation 2 and in somewhere around there. Yeah. Because why? Our richness would always supersede our oppressors, because our richness come from? It come from the Lord, because now we have an order. They will our richness come from. So we automatically look at something and know that, hey, this is the wrong thing to do.
Right.
Sometimes we mightn't say it, but within our minds and spirit, we identify it. And because now being in that state, just like we read in the little history, because of being in poverty, we don't even go into the history.
Right.
We don't even go deep into the history. And that's why it's I think it's 2 Timothy, where it says, study to show thyself approved. Right? Because now the Lord always had prophets, always had righteous black men. This is why we tell brothers, hey, come get yourself in the class.
Right.
Don't take all words straight. Now we go to our records and we will break it down. Go inside of it, show where the Lord warned us concerning these things. And just like we brought out in previous shows, showing in the scriptures and proving that Christmas is inside there.
Right.
All these customs is inside there. The same thing we're coming about, as we say, when we read it with just recently with the Feast Akanika dedication, where it say they set up customs, they set up, as we say, places to, let me say, to arenas. All these things is, again, we could find it inside our records, and it is warning to us.
Yeah.
And brothers and sisters should take heed of the importance of this, because now again, so I say, just like as in the days I know, people would be eating and drinking and be given in marriages. The same thing we see happening right now. Everybody functioning. We still, as we say, thinking that, hey, we is one human race, not knowing their duty is always to keep us to the point, just like I say, David crying, he praying, David, he said that they come together in one concept, the confederate, that we should know who he is, to keep us from knowing who we are. The prophets of old always cry, and the prophets are all alive and well today, because this, what we speaking about, is what our forefathers before spoke about. Brought the reminder to the nation, brought the reminder to the people. We here in Trinidad and wherever, we are scattered through the four corners of the earth, the chosen people of the Lord. The Lord is bringing this reminder to this house. On the airwaves. This is not, again, we have a lot of programs. We have food program, we have prison program.
Right.
We as we say, we have online tutoring, daycare, a full functioning house. And as we say, as this house started start a bill. This is what the Lord would always recognize, because why? That spirit and that work is being put in because why? This is who we are as our people, as our family. The other nation do it. Why you think, as you say, they are thriving? Why you think they could come out and bring different, laws, bring different, because now they are the ones who are on top. We read that in Deuteronomy. The nation that is beneath thee would do get up very high, and thou shalt come down low. This is reminders unto us again. It's like
You're and if most people take it and start to look at it realistically, you understand, they realize that what these religious leaders and them saying, something totally different to what the Bible says. You understand what I'm saying? Because we as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we have our days, our feast days, our high holy days. You understand? But these is the things that the religious leaders are supposed to be pumping. You understand? For our people to know. They will talk. Go ahead, Salaki.
Yeah, go ahead, caller. Good night.
Could you just point out some of the holidays or the special days or the feast days which we should keep?
Yeah, we'll do. I say, of course, we would do that. We'll do that.
Yeah. I look at them, I know when children of Israel came out of Egypt in Exodus chapter 12, the Lord said there shall be the beginning of months for you. And in Exodus 13, he called it months after it. So more or less, your family years would start within the ending of March to April around there in the born. And then in Leviticus 23, you will see all those days and things coming down. Because I don't know if most of the folks they may not have knowledge of those days. And those are appointed time where God needs to the people. I'm learning. So I just put them a call and put another picture.
All right, we appreciate your call. You appreciate your call, caller. You appreciate that call. All right. All right, will do. Yes, sir. Let me take this next caller. Yeah, go ahead, caller. Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right. The people already know the importance of audio on radio.
Yeah, go ahead, call. Go ahead, caller. We hearing you. You hearing me right? We hearing you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Come. You understand? I don't talk on the text. You understand? Only talking the truth because you look like Christmas. Choose the word. Celebration to Son God. Celebration for God's Son. You just change it wrong.
Right.
And we just following that tradition. You understand? When I'm celebrating the Son God, they look at me that we celebrate the Son of God. Brother. So we just the people only understand what life is all about by celebrating people children on the festival and things. Now if we stop that, you understand? We have the person will see that we understand life and in real life commandments. You understand? So we can now step up and change the system that will prosper.
Right.
So if we keep on celebrating these people and tradition, they will realize it's the same way.
Right.
And with more rules, and you know, there's more rules, so we have less of we have, because we so strict for
Yeah, caller, yeah, signal a little. I know, yes, but we and again, you know, the point you're bringing is very important as well, and this is why we always mention as well. We were once in that, you know, state, and we're not even exempting ourselves, because now we still, you know, on the ground with our brothers, with our family. And this is important for us, because now we need to hear, as we say, callers as yourself, as the previous callers, you know, actually calling in and as we say, dropping your 2 cents, because it's important as well, as we say, because now we on the airwaves, and the importance of Black people actually, you know, knowing their history, knowing their culture. Yeah, but right.
I remember everything on the right too, but because all under seriousness, all under bringing back people in their life, spiritual life, the true way of life then.
That's right.
You understand? And people don't understand, but because they use also in flesh, and know, you know, these things make the flesh feel. You understand? You know, people still have things that say that kind of, but I mean, all the go to whether I can see next year, but really, these things supposed to be really into them. Not that I follow, you will all it, because I mean, serious story, they'll be talking, because God tell, Moses will be at the 350 festival.
Right.
The wicked ways of them, stage for death to that.
That's right.
And we just want to be along with my friend and dealing with people under subordination and I said that it's about to children, but we are children. Because so all the people trying to work have a good life.
Before you go, caller, I just want to ask you one question before you go. You there, sir? Caller, sir.
No.
What the callers bringing out there was very important, though. You understand? The 2 callers that called in there, that's fine. What they're bringing was very important.
Right.
You understand? And something that he mentioned, which is of absolute importance, is we coming together and putting away these false gods.
That's right.
You understand? That is absolutely important for all people to understand and to recognize. You understand? As the Lord saying in the book of Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1, gather yourself together. Gather together, O nation, not desire.
Right.
We have to realize that we are that nation of Black people that is not desired by none of these other races. Races just means nation in the Bible.
That's right.
We are the ones that is not desired.
That's right.
You understand? And going back a little earlier to what you were saying before I yield Sadakia, sir. You understand? Going back a little earlier to what you were saying, you was mentioning that the heathens and them, they know their way. And if you look at it, the East Indians, they know their culture. They hold on to their culture. They teach their culture to their children.
Right.
They have their book, the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
You understand? They know their Sanskrit. They teach their people their culture. And if you look, you've seen from generation to generation how they're holding on to it.
Yeah.
You understand? But when you look at Black people now, we all mixed up. Who's Pentecostal, who's Baptist, you understand, who's atheist, who want to be Orisha. You understand what I'm saying? Spiritual Baptist and all these different things we mixed up.
Right.
But take a close look at all these other nations, the Chinese, they know their culture. You understand? And you ain't seen the Chinese mixing up with Black people.
Right.
You ain't seen that at all. No matter how much we go into their stores and their groceries, you understand, we support them more than we support our own people. You ain't see them coming and mixing.
That's right.
You understand? We as Black people, Hispanic people, and Native Indian people, we have to start opening our eyes, watching around and seeing how these other nations operate. You understand? Just from the basic level. We're just talking about from the identity level first. We could go into commerce and agriculture and all these different things. But let me take it from the identity level. They know their identity, they know their culture, they know their history. And it's time for us as a people to return to this book. You understand? Return to our King Jesus Christ, not the white image they give you. You understand? Because Christ is a black man according to the Bible. One of the greatest man to ever walk the face of the earth.
Right.
And let's have a blueprint here for other young black men to be great in the face of this thing. So like yes.
Right. And say something.
Yeah, what the officer is bringing out is correct. A lot of the things that is really keeping people from coming together is a set of these religions and them. And if you look up the founders of them, all the founders of these religions and them is the oppressor.
Right.
You basically have we in different religions. So when I tell you, look, as a Hebrew Israelite, and you know, with one family, with 12 tribes of Israel are one family, you telling me I can't listen to you because it's a Pentecostal. Right. I can't listen to you because I'm a Baptist. I can't listen to you because I'm a Jehovah's Witness. You know, that the confusion that they create to keep we divided as a people.
Right.
The history and because that's important as well too now. So one of the brother would just pull up the little history on what took place, you know, yesterday coming in to today, right? And it is very important. And this is history. You know, as you say, we need time on internet right now, where you could, as you say, could go up and these histories are not hidden, because again, this in the book of Revelation, he say the earth is going to help the woman. All what is happening right now is like the Lord is revealing and exposing all the lies that was hidden from us and keeping us from really actually pushing towards the truth.
Right.
So again, just like in Job, I say the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, covered the faces of the judges thereof. Our faces have been covered with a lot of lies for over, as we say, and this time over this 400 plus years, this was as we say a journey. Because imagine now you actually we in 2026.
Right.
Imagine we in 2026 as it mentioned, and we now learning we identity.
Right.
What every other race of people know who they is. Since from the book you say book of Genesis.
So like I say, I just have to pull on it because I was watching a video the other day, the Prime Minister. You understand? And in the video showing you where she went back, straight back to the village where she was born.
Right. And again, the thing about it, knowing your identity, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
But why it is when come to us,
we don't know. You understand? And that is one of the reasons why we had to turn back to the book, turn back to the Bible, and understand why we're in this condition. So
Go ahead. Yeah.
Janus, the unique Roman god of beginnings, endings, doorways, and transition, famously depicted with two faces looking in opposite directions, past and future. He presided over new ventures, time, gates, and pathways, and the month of January is named for him as the doorkeeper of the heavens. He was invoked first in Rome rituals and symbolizes change, duality, and the opening and closing of cycles like peace and war.
So again, that is just a brief, again, little history on what this, I would say, this God is, or what this image is.
Right.
just as you read in Second Ezra 2 and 1 and verse 6 or something, right? 2 Ezra 1 and 6,
right,
where, you know, as we say, we provoke the Lord and we cleave to other gods. Imagine again, how could you determine, as we say, you looking in one way and looking out the next way?
right.
When you can make a 360.
Right.
So now again, it show you how they set everything to keep your mind on focus, when our structure was always to keep us focused
Right.
on doing what we're supposed to do, follow these instructions of the Lord. Now they give you two options. You're looking back and you're looking forward.
Right.
When, as we say, as the scripture say, the pathway now, it's straight and narrow that lead to life,
Right.
and few be that find it. And the one that is broad and wide, everybody want to run down that pathway.
Right.
And again, identifying who, because now we are the only people that would try to delve into other customs and culture.
Right.
Here we go. Now we go try this. We will try this delicacy. We know it harmful to us. I'm gonna try it. We have a structure, and that structure always had order.
Right.
And in order for us to really understand that order, we must sit under men that study. Just as we again get that book, First Timothy. First Timothy, 2 and 15.
Just add into what you're saying, and
Second Timothy 2 and 15.
even when the brother saying, you understand, when the brother reading the little history on Janus, remember that is a Roman god, that is an old pagan god. You understand? That keep coming on from generation to generation. We know, you understand, and understand that the Romans, they had a god for every month of the year, every day of the week. They served and worshiped different gods. You understand? And now it come now and tie up with today. Now when you're looking at New Year's Day, you're celebrating New Year's Day thinking whatever you might think it is about, because it's not of Christ. You understand? It's in celebrating nothing in the Bible. You understand? You worshiping another god. Another god called what? Janus. You understand? And as the officers rightfully bringing out, just after New Year's, we're going into our next celebration, Valentine's Day, which is after another god called Bacchus or Bacchanalia. You understand? So it's important that we do the history and understand why we worship or why we do these things. In the Bible, it shows all our high holy days and feast days, so like just as the callers rightfully bringing before. You will see the touch time done.
Right.
You understand? And also you will understand why we keep these high holy days, why we keep these feast days. All these have significance. Why we do these things. You understand? So like
yeah.
2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not thus to be ashamed.
A workman that what?
A workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of the truth.
Right. And again, we need not to be ashamed of our culture, of our history, of our heritage. Because we being ashamed of that, we would do what? We'd worship other gods. We'd celebrate Christmas, we'd celebrate New Year's, we'd celebrate Valentine's Day. So like it. I'm just right. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. We'd celebrate all their customs, all their ways. Because why? The condition that we, as we say, we face daily, as we say, trying to meet ends meet. Now it is like this. They would use that term. If you can't beat them, join them. But that is not so with us. Yes, like yeah, go ahead, caller.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah.
I just want to say one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to say one more thing, right? No, people of history, and that's not really, so we don't have to get at. I
Right.
want people to know history is the courtyard of God's obedience. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you don't check up on your history of where God put us wrote, what he wrote for,
Right.
you understand?
Right.
We will be destroying ourselves because of the lack of knowledge.
Right.
Right.
You understand? So remember history, the courtyard of obedience. You see, we go destroy some place, we destroy this place. You see, you come and tell you obedience. The time sacrifice, so let us stop fight for children and go ball Christmas and such things. Christmas for children.
Right.
You just think they're not different to them to grow to the next generation, next generation.
Right.
Let me stop that.
Right.
Obedience is time sacrifice. And what I must say again, history is the courtyard for God obedience. My friend, you want to go there?
Yeah,
Yes,
but I
sir.
appreciate that,
Yeah,
man.
see
Yeah.
you follow.
Yeah.
And then that
Yeah.
is what we call us saying this.
Yeah.
The point, you understand, obedience, and this is the thing that the religious leaders supposed to be letting the people know.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Showing them how could we as a people, or how could we as a nation, how could we as black people be obedient to the Most High?
Mm-hmm.
When we in the church system and we just preaching prosperity doctrine
Mm-hmm.
and sowing a seed and buying prayer cloth, you understand? We wouldn't learn that.
Right.
You wouldn't learn how to be obedient to the Most High, how to
Mhm.
serve the Lord.
That's right.
You understand?
Right.
So that,
The list of upcoming high holidays, because that's something we could just, let brothers and sisters know not to come on down to the school. Right. So anybody who had that before the time run up, you could just, as you call it, ask now, to give brothers and sisters again, because again the last feast that we had was the feast of dedication. Again, go up on our webpage.
Right.
It was a glorious thing to see young children, brothers and sisters, come together and again recognize our culture, recognize our history, just as the brother was bringing out and just a moment ago, the history, because now us knowing who we are, which is history, would actually direct us to that pathway of truth.
Right.
And direct us, through, as we say, true righteous black men. Because now again, everybody, as we say, all people is always say, I try this, I try that, and nobody wasn't genuine, but they never try a righteous black man.
Right.
This is why we say Commanding General Yahana, right, is the only man with that rank and that authority, because he has the spirit of the Most High in Christ.
Right.
And to have the spirit of the Most High in Christ and to pass this down until the return of our King is like one of the greatest miracle that you could ever see.
Right.
Black people coming together.
Oh, God.
That is a miracle that every day we hear people say black people can't come together.
Right.
That is one of the greatest miracles. Before we are witness black people coming together.
Oh, God.
Right? Anybody have it?
Yeah. These are not some, but these are the high holy days and feast days of the Lord, according to the Bible, according to what blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians supposed to be keeping, supposed to be celebrating, supposed to be gathering to. You understand? Just as the officer rightfully bringing out as a family. You understand? We're not supposed to be gathering to these man-made holidays and man-made traditions. You understand that we are accustomed to, like the Independence Day and Labor Day and Valentine's Day, Easter, and all these different things. No. The Lord have his days, right? So now we have the Sabbath day. You understand? We have the Lord's Passover. We have the Feast of Unleavened Bread. We have the Feast of First Fruits, the Memorial Blowing of Trumpets, the Day of Atonement, the Feast of Tabernacles, the Feast of Dedication or Hanukkah, which we just came out of. We also have the Feast of Purim. You understand? Which is the next high holiday coming up. You understand? That will be the Feast of Purim will be Monday the 2nd of March and Tuesday the 3rd of March 2026.
Right. And just as the brother bringing out there, these upcoming, high holidays, feast days, Lord allow, we continue on the program. We bring brothers and sisters up to date on the day, or let me say the month, just like we're bringing it out before the month before.
Right.
So we keep on, bringing or reminding brothers and sisters to come on down to the school number 1 Morris Street, Point 14.
Right.
Again, you could call in, ask your questions, right? You could call in on the program, just like the brothers and them calling a while ago.
Right.
Ask your questions. You could give your input. And again, just be, mindful or be, as we say, a brother or be a sister, and always look out, for your brother and your
Right.
sister, for this house, for this family, because now us coming together is, as we say, is just as we say, I would say Jacob is the beginning, right? And Esau is the end, right? So now everything that is going to take place right now is a change of government. So who is Esau? Who is Jacob? Esau is our oppressor, the so-called Caucasian man, right? Everybody would read about that in the time of Rebecca, right?
Okay.
Given birth from Isaac and Rebecca.
Okay. Genesis 25:25.
Right. That birth, you would see, as we say, two manner of people, two nations, right? So it identified.
Okay.
It identified. So we came out of who? The loins of Jacob, who the Lord chose to continue on his inheritance or his legacy, right? So
I just want to touch on one thing. So,
go ahead.
Well, as you come down to the school, you will actually get to celebrate with brothers and sisters and see how the feast of the Lord is kept in person. But because just touching on one here quick, because that is how we following the pagan festival that we just came out of, which was Christmas. But this is the feast of dedication here that Christ himself kept in the book of John 10:22-27. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of dedication. And it was winter, and Jesus walked in the temple in Solomon's porch.
It was what? It
was winter.
Where we in right now?
The time of winter. Verse 23. And Jesus walked in the temple in Solomon's porch. Then came the Jews round about him, and said unto him, How long dost thou make us to doubt if thou be Christ? Tell us plainly. Jesus answered them and told them, And ye believed not the works that I do in my Father's name. They bear witness of me. But ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep. As I said unto you, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me.
Right. Guys. Right.
My sheep what?
I hear my voice.
Yeah.
Right. So this is just a reminder, and this is what we say in what in New Testament.
Yeah, right. In the New Testament, you can get it in the book of John 10:22-27, the feast of dedication.
So just as we mentioned before, right? To any religious organization, like show we inside that they were,
Christ's birth was celebrated
on December 25th, and
show we Christmas in the Bible where it was celebrated.
Right.
Christ ruled around when? Dedication.
And where? and the winter, and then we could go back in I think it's First Maccabees and read what happened around that time. So again, this is a reminder for brothers and sisters. This is a reminder for us as a people and our family, the importance of us knowing our history, knowing our culture, knowing who we are. Right? Any closing words?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And this is what Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians say, right? So again, what our separation, go think that them Venezuelans, we people a lot of hated and thing, right? The same thing with the Native Indians. We are all one nation, right? And that's to show this and out, right? So Christ is the greatest man, walk the face of the earth, right? And they execute him, and thing, right? So people feeling that these are a nation like Black people. The greatest prophet walk the earth, they execute him, right? And even before now, that want to show you something with history, and it really have to have the spirit of the Most High with you, and that's showing your greatness and thing, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger come on the scene and thing, right? But guess who come after and take over from Arnold Schwarzenegger and recognition full time? Ronnie Coleman. We have Donald Bradman, again, Australia cricketer. Make the first 300. Then after we have Brian Lara, again coming again, right? We have Larry Bird and thing, right? They're showing you some things after. We have Michael Jordan coming after on the scene and thing, right? And these things will continue to show up and thing again with Black people greatness and thing, right? And this is where again now Black people we coming to show Black people, with all that greatness, we have to have the Most High Spirit and we.
That's right.
And thing we have Michael Jackson again, right? We have plenty and it continue to show again. Even from the lowest to the highest and on to again. We come out of slavery and thing, right? We have Dr. Eric Williams again, the first Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. The first President Ellis Clark and on to again, but we have to really and true what Black people really missing is the Most High law, statutes, and commandments. Right. And you go see full out graces. We think we're great, but we're greater with the Most High law, statutes, and commandments.
That's right. That's right. Right. So again, as we continue, to on the program, again remind brothers and sisters, to check out our webpage, again to come on down to the school, number 1 Morris Street. Again, just a reminder to pay your Passover fee. The upcoming, 57th annual Passover will be held in Houston, Texas, April 4th, right? For brothers and sisters, as you say, 18 and over, to pay a Passover fee, right? Again, Commanding General Yana has a whole schedule, lined up for that week, right? Again, if brothers and sisters, in maybe say through, North, South, and Central America and traveling, again, come, gather, just as I say, gather ourselves together, with this house, with this family. Again, the Lord's 57th annual Passover, Houston, Texas. The Passover fee is $200 per adult, right? Again, this is a reminder to this house. Again, check us out on all our web pages, right? On all our social media pages, right? Salakia, go ahead.
Salakia. Just say that ISUPK Trinidad on all social media.
That's right.
That's how keep up to date with what's going on in and around the nation. When I say around the nation, in and around with Blacks, Hispanics, and Indians.
And we continue to keep, our brothers and sisters, in always to keep them in our prayers. As again, because our prayers is always that we come back together.
Right.
Because now everything outside of this house, or outside of this, what the Lord established is some destined for our fall. And when I mean destined for our fall is the heathen continue to rise and to build the empire. Right? So again, this is a reminder to our brothers and sisters. Again, this is ISUPK Trinidad and Tobago under Commanding General Lehana, right? And Prison Officer Swapiala,
Prison Officer Matquare,
Prison Officer Shah,
and Prison Officer Barria.
Right? And with that, let's see.
I think we might say about it.
Now,
beginning September 4th, every Thursday from 7 p.m. hosted by Officer SWAT